Hello! Long time no see, and this time we have very interesting information as Sony finally let us know when PlayStation 5 is going to be released and the price of the two models. So it will be released on November 12th on Japan, US, Canada, can't remember other regions, and a week later, November 19th, in Europe and some other regions, UK and, well, UK is in Europe, so okay. But yeah, the prices, the disc version, the so-called premium version, will cost $4.99 in euros, and the digital only version will be 100 euros less, so $3.99. And yeah, I'm just waiting my opportunity now that the pre-orders will start on one of my favorite local web stores, so I can pre-order my PS5 as soon as possible. I'm still waiting for them to start, hopefully start the pre-order system very soon. And the prices, yeah, the prices were pretty much that I have thought of. So I thought that the premium disc version will be around say somewhere between 450 and 550, and it hit the middle of that, so 500. And I also thought that the digital version will be 100 euros less, not to 200 like with the Xbox Series S. But the Series S, it's a different thing because it's less powerful than the Series X, and versus both PS5 models will be equally powerful. It's just that the digital doesn't have the disk drive. So of course the focus was on launch titles and games that will be released during the launch window and a little bit later. The presentation itself was, for me at least, was kind of disappointing because I was so waiting for Gran Turismo 7, to see more of Gran Turismo 7, and we didn't see anything. It was nothing. So that was disappointing because I had really hoped that that Gran Turismo 7 might have been even, I heard rumors saying that it would be even launch title or coming during the launch window, but since we didn't see anything of that game, I don't think it's coming soon. because they would definitely show more of that game if it was close to launch. So that's a disappointing news for me. So I think the release will be somewhere between summer and fall of 2021 next year. So yeah, I think there's still far to go with the Gran Turismo 7. So that was disappointing. I definitely hoped to see that game on last night's presentation or PS5 showcase. Also disappointing that we didn't see the much rumored Silent Hill reboot, because that's been heavily rumored that it's been on development for quite a while now, and it's only a matter of time when we heard about it, but we didn't heard anything about it last night, so that was disappointing too. So those two games were that I hoped I would see on the presentation, and they were not there. But luckily we saw a little bit more, or not much of a gameplay, pretty much just a second trailer of Resident Evil 8 Village. That looked sick as I expected. My hopes are getting higher. The more I see from the game, it looks so fucking awesome, and yeah, it might be a very different from any other Resident Evil, but old school Resis are old school Resis, and the newer ones, I'm just glad that Capcom is willing to bravely move ahead and try new things with the series, but at the same time not forgetting completely the roots of the series. So Resident Evil 7 was a great example. It managed to keep the horror elements and puzzles and tension, but it introduced so much to the series, and I think that Resident Evil 8 is just going to get even further with new stuff and new elements and just new things that I'm really happy for. The only thing that I really require is the horror element, so that's why I've never been a fan of Resident Evil 5 and definitely not Resident Evil 6. That game is just not good in my opinion. It's average with co-op. Resident Evil 5 was pretty good even on single player, but it was great with co-op. So Resident Evil 5 and 6, they had the advantage of a co-op. Only Resident Evils that have co-op, plus Revelations 2 of course. But yeah, that's about it. what else we saw last night? Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I'm just not interested about that game. I know many are, but Spider-Man has never been a thing to me. I mean, it looked awesome graphically, and it was stylish and just really great looking game. Of course, and the action looked quite hectic, I would say. They show quite much of a gameplay of that, but like I said, I'm not going to get that. We saw new Final Fantasy. Yeah, never been a big fan of Final Fantasy series, so to me it's just nah. And we saw Oddworld Soulstorm. That game I'm definitely going to get. I'm not sure if it's a launch title, I don't think so, but maybe early next year, coming early next year I would guess. But it can be a launch title, but I can't remember what it said on, at the end of the presentation of that game. But I don't think it's a launch title, but I'm definitely going to get that game. That looked awesome, and I love Oddworld games. Even though I haven't played them a lot, but I'm really interested in that world, and it's very unique game series. And why can't I remember what other games we saw? Now I'm just getting blackout, but okay. Yeah, but like I said, the games presentation was a little bit disappointing for me. And also, or did we see Ratchet and Clank? I think we saw Ratchet and Clank. And that's another title that I'm interested a little bit. Not a must buy for me, but the maybe title. But definitely Oddworld I'm going to get, and of course my two biggest games that I'm waiting, Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil 8 Village. But I think they both are still far away, so definitely going to get some launch titles, and I hope that there is at least one that I'm interested of. But yeah, so excited now that Sony finally fucking revealed the release date and prices. I mean, they waited very long. I mean, it was almost like a deadline for them. Like yesterday, I thought they just must reveal those infos, or otherwise they shot themselves in the foot. And luckily they did. And now it's just me waiting to get the opportunity to pre-order mine. And yeah, I'm going to get the premium disc version, of course. Still we didn't really get the total idea of how the PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility works. Is it all games out of the box that will work on PS5? I don't think so, but I hope for. Uh, so that remains to be seen. I hope, of course, I hope that every PS4 game works on PS5. And yeah, we got interesting information on the PlayStation Plus side of things. Me as PlayStation Plus subscriber, I'm glad that we get to see the, you know, updated versions of many biggest PS4 titles, like God of War, Last of Us, Resident Evil 7, Bloodborne, games like that, the big selling games. So PlayStation Plus subscribers can download these games for free to their PS5. I think at launch they will be. I understood that they will be ready at launch, so you can play the updated versions of those biggest selling PS4 games on PS5 for free. So it's like it's like a answer to Microsoft's what it was called, Xbox Access or something. So yeah, I'm happy for that info, but of course that means that you must keep your PlayStation Plus subscription active so you can play those games. But yeah, it's still great news for me who has PlayStation Plus. So yeah, and I think that's about it on the PS5 things. And some other stuff, just to remind that back to PS4. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time demo landed yesterday to those who have pre-ordered or pre-purchased the game digitally on PS Store, as I was. So I got to get the taste of Crash 4, and the demo contained 3 whole levels, and I must say I'm pretty impressed by the game. Everything looks nice, gameplay is flawless, I think, and most importantly, as I was a little bit afraid that they might make this new modern Crash too easy perhaps, but it's definitely challenging. I died so many times on those 3 levels that it's going to be challenging, and so no worries there. So the game itself will launch 2nd of October, so it will be about 2 weeks now, but it was great to get the taste of the game 2 weeks earlier with this demo. And I'm definitely going to play the demo again today, later. So yeah, that's about it this time. Not much more to say. So the main thing was of course PS5, and so excited that we'll get to play that beauty in 2 months about. And yeah, like I said, I hope that there will be at least one interesting launch title for me, so it's not just going to be like I'm playing PS4 games for now on my PS5 because for that I still have PS4 of course, so I can play those games on of course PS4. So of course I hope there will be at least one PS5 games to get the taste of the new generation. Okay, so or next generation, whatever you call. But yeah, that's about it, and hopefully I'll be making these videos a little bit more frequently now because yeah, it's been long since my last video, and time just flies so fast that I just sometimes wake up and thought, oh, I haven't uploaded any video in a couple of months now, and yeah, but I knew that I would have to make this video because PlayStation 5 is so fucking big thing for many and for me. So see you next time. Bye. Resident Evil 8 Village.